All right, so I went and saw Disclosure Day today, and it kind of sucked really bad. I always kind of had my suspicions about this movie, like since the first trailer came out, and a bunch of people were all like up in arms about it, like, "Oh my God, Steven Spielberg alien movie," and I was kind of like, like it doesn't look all that like new or. It just didn't seem all that interesting to me. And then when I got closer to release, I was like, okay, this might end up being actually pretty decent. So I still wasn't like over the moon excited about it when I went to see it, but I was kind of like, okay, this might be. I hope this is good. uh, let's just say the expectations, which weren't even that high, were not met at all. So yeah, let's get to the scores here. First up is narrative. Yeah, this movie covers a top secret organization, well, two top secret organizations, and there also exists a ton of documents and videos of extraterrestrial beings on Earth. This one group wants to keep the information classified, and the other group wants to release it to the world. There's a semi interesting premise here, but it just really felt like it was written by a guy who wrote movies in the 70s. It just because it had a lot of like 70s movie isms in it, such as one-dimensional characters and motivations, nonsensically convenient plot devices, and using the title of the movie in the script and thinking it's aura when it's not. And they just kept getting more and more frequent and apparent as the movie went on. I do not like this movie's writing at all. It's terrible. There's also quite a bit of dialogue that just doesn't sound natural at all. This guy who's a member of the organization that wants to release all the files, he's been keeping the secret from his girlfriend, and his girlfriend asks him, like, how long have you been doing this? And he's like, since I got out 8 years ago from federal prison. Like nobody talks like that. You could have just said when I got out, because like she probably obviously knows that you were in prison at some point. She's your girlfriend, and that's just one example that I thought of off the top of my head. Hey, this is editing Travis. I forgot to mention something specific that I particularly hated about the story itself in this section. I mean, I briefly alluded to it, but not really. Which is that there's so clearly a correct side. Any argument you could make to keep the alien documents hidden, classified, is dumb. And like the contention is like, well, what then? Like, what are people gonna think when they see this? It's like people are gonna think that there's aliens when people already know there's aliens. It's common sense that there's aliens. It's like, how is this gonna affect religion? Like they're taught to believe in this supreme being, but they're seeing supreme beings. They're not supreme beings. They're just organisms who were born in a different place. There's nothing special about them, just like there's nothing special about us. It's just, yeah, it really pissed me off that there was a contention around it when there's so clearly a right decision. So yeah, that was that. Back to the review. So yeah, I'm giving the narrative of this movie a 2. The only reason it's not a 1 is because I still kind of cared about what happened, so it did kind of keep me engaged in that way, I guess. Next up is visuals. This movie looks fine. It looks how you'd expect it to look. Though there is a lot of cinematography that just makes no sense. Like, overly complicated. Like, there's a shot that shows, like, a woman watching a computer. So the camera's here, and it shows the woman, like, from the front, and the laptop, like, in front of her. And then the camera does this like crazy acrobatics just to show what's on the laptop. It's like, bro, you didn't need to do that, and it's distracting. There's also one scene with hail, and it's the fakest looking hail I've ever seen in my life. So I give the visuals a 4. Absolutely nothing special at all. And now for the sound and music. I think the score was decent when it was there. That's the thing. There was a lot of parts of this movie where it was like noticeably lacking music, and I think it was for effect, but it didn't have an effect on me. Like it just felt like there should be music here, but there's not. Like it felt unfinished in a way. So I'm giving Sound of Music a 5 out of 10 because only half the time it was there when it should have been. For editing, this movie definitely didn't need to be this long, but I mean the pacing is the least of its issues, but it is still an issue, so I'm talking about it. Yeah, I was so bored from 40% through the movie to like 75%. That entire section was just a blur. Like I mean, I remember what happened, but like I was so bored. My mom was sitting right next to me, and she opened her phone briefly to like turn the brightness down on her phone, and so I happened to glance over and check what time it was. And then a little while later, and it was during a scene where I was just bored, and I was like, well, it had to have been a while since then, right? So I took out my phone, and it had only been 20 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, dude, still have like an hour left of this, and there's not really any interesting editing choices either. So I'm giving editing a 3. Now, acting. This is where you're going to see me say something positive about this movie. I think the acting performances overall, like on average, are very good. Coleman Domingo's good. Let me look up names, actually. All I know one of the guys as is the guy from Challengers, Josh O'Connor. Colin Firth was pretty good. Eve Hewson was pretty good. Oh, I didn't talk about Wyatt Russell's character. Oh my god, talk about the most annoying character in all of cinema. Like, holy, does this guy ever shut up? Like, literally every time Margaret, and Emily Blunt's character, like takes a phone call, and like her boyfriend's driving, and then she's like taking a call like from one of the organizations, you know, whatever, and she's just talking to them, and the guy's like, who's that? Oh, this again, what is it? Like, shut up, you don't have to commentate. Like, oh my god, shut your mouth. Yeah, I think Wyatt Russell was fine, but his character was the most annoying thing ever. But Emily Blunt, I actually thought was amazing. Emily Blunt's performance is by far the best part of this entire movie. She is incredible, and the performance is definitely Oscar-worthy. And just like the stark contrast between my interest in the rest of the movie and my interest in her performance is crazy. Like, I'm just sitting back in the chair, like, bored out of my mind, right? And then it's like an Emily Blunt scene where she's acting out of her mind, and I'm like, huh? Wait, I'm actually feeling something? Like, wait. So yeah, Emily Blunt is amazing. Everyone else is pretty good too. I'm giving acting an 8 out of 10. But acting can't save this one because my overall score for Disclosure Day is a 3 out of 10. It might be my least favorite movie of the year so far. I haven't decided if it's better or worse than Mercy yet. But yeah, this was a huge letdown, even from someone who wasn't even that excited. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend seeing this one. But if you are going to see it, just expect the movie to have a bunch of dumb 70s stuff, because that's basically just what this is. It's a 70s movie made in modern time, and it just doesn't work. But yeah, that was my review. If you disagree with me, which I imagine you do, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll still heart it like I do with every comment, because I still appreciate you leaving a comment. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.